No, it's my planning. Then he said, Ya Rasulullah, ma hada bil mawda. I don't think this is a good place. I see that we camp near the wells of Badr, and we will drink and the enemies will not drink. The Prophet looked at him and he said, Asharta bil-ra'i. Wonderful idea. This is right opinion. And he ordered the army all to shift and move towards the wells of Badr. Why would this person do that? He could have so simply said, it's the Prophet ﷺ. Who am I to come and suggest for the Prophet? The Prophet will be guided. The Prophet will be victorious. Allah will give him victory with us or without us. Isn't that true? It is true, of course. Allah will give the victory to the Prophet ﷺ, either we liked it or not. Either the kuffar liked it or not. But this person felt that he feel that he can do something. He felt that he have an aim. He felt that he have to be positive. He can't just live like that. There is something, there is opportunity he have to give. And another similar example is that when the battle of Khandaq, al-Ahzab, Ghazwat al-Khandaq, Ghazwat al-Ahzab is the same battle but two different names, and for a reason. Ahzab because there were so many parties who were plotting against the believers and the Prophet ﷺ, from inside, internally from the Jews, and from outside were the kuffar of Mecca and their other tribes. And Khandaq because of this positive action of this companion. While the Muslims were surrounded in the Medina, and the armies of the kuffar on the other side, and the armies of the Yahud, the Jews, who were living in Medina, and they plotted against the Muslims from inside. And it was a very severe moment that the narrator of the hadith about this battle, he said that even one of us will be scared to go to the toilet. إِنَّ أَحَدُنَا لَيَخْشَ أَنْ يَذْهَبْ إِلَى الْخَلَاءِ. That one of us will be scared to go to the toilet, because the toilets were far away. They have to go out in outside areas. Why? Because enemies surrounding them from everywhere. Until people were so shocked and scared to the level that that the Nabi ﷺ was gathering with his companions, and he said something, you'll be shocked when you hear what I'm going to say. He asked his companions, who would go and check what our enemy is doing? Nobody stands up. No one volunteers. No volunteers. Umar, Abu Bakr, Uthman, Ali, all these wonderful companions, no volunteers. Then the Prophet ﷺ make it a more special. He said, who will go and see what our enemies are doing, and he will not be harmed. So this is like for assurance. The Prophet ﷺ is giving them an assurance that nothing will happen to him. No one volunteers. They were human. They were human. Still, then the Prophet ﷺ, when he found nobody standing, he made an extra bonus. He said, who will go and see what our enemies are doing? And I will guarantee that he will come safe, and he will be with me in Jannah. Okay, now I think this is a good bonus, yeah? I'm sure everybody would stood up. No one stood up. No one. The situation was so difficult. The verses of the Quran, when you read the verses of the Quran that mentioning Ghazwat al-Ahzab, you'll be shocked how it is so tense, so scary. Then, when the Prophet ﷺ found that no volunteers, then he chose. When he started looking at people to choose someone, narrator of the hadith said that people will start putting their heads down, hiding their heads, so that they won't be picked up. And then the Prophet ﷺ decided to choose upon one wonderful companion, a magnificent companion. Amina هذه الأمة. Sorry, not Amin, كاتم سر النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. He was the one who has the secrets. Huzayfa ibn al-Yaman. He said, قم يا حذيفة. Huzayfa, go. It will be you. Huzayfa, when he heard his name, يعني خلاص, he can't do anything. It's an order. Now it's a direct order. It's not a matter of volunteering. It's a direct order. Okay, you Huzaifa, you have to go up. So Huzaifa stood. Huzaifa was, when he was narrating the hadith, he said, when the Prophet ﷺ was asking all these questions before, everybody was very cold and we were shivering out of fear and cold and difficult. And you know, it's like when we are here in the desert, and it's when it's cold in winter, it's very cold. Yeah, so they were shivering, and then Huzaifa said, the minute the Prophet ﷺ said my name, and the minute I stood up, I felt so much heat in my heart and my body. Heat overwhelmed me. And then the Prophet ﷺ said, Ya Huzaifa, go and don't go and see what the people our enemies are doing, and don't do anything. And just go and see and come back to tell us what happened. Then Huzaifa ibn Yaman, of course, went, and then he came with the victory that Allah have concluded the battle. They didn't fight. Allah sent another armies. Rih. وَمَا يَعْلَمُ جُنُودَ رَبِّكَ إِلَّا هُوَ. And none will know the armies of Allah except Him. Sometimes Allah will send an army rain, and it will destroy, like flooding, like happened in the time of Nuh alayhi salam, and it will destroy the people who disbelieved in Nuh. Allah will send rih, like what happened now in the Khandaq, Qaswat al-Khandaq. Sometimes Allah will send small insect, a small insect, and it's like what happened to Namrud. The Namrud who were claiming and who was fighting with Ibrahim alayhi salam. When Ibrahim alayhi salam, he said, Rabbi alladhi uhyi wa yumit, qala ana uhyi wa umit. He said, Allah bring life and death. He said, I bring life and death. And to show this, he brought from the prison somebody who was supposed to be hanged, and he said, okay, you go free. And he found an innocent person in the streets, and he go and kill him. See, I bring life and death. So Ibrahim alayhi salam looked at him and he said, فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ يَأْتِي بِالشَّمْسِ مِنَ الْمَشْرِقِ فَأْتِي بِهَا مِنَ الْمَغْرِبِ. Allah raise the sun from the east, raise it from the west if you can. فَبُهِتَ الَّذِي كَفَرْ. He couldn't. How did the Namrud die? This so-claimed God, how did he die? Small insect. Small insect. He was not worse that Allah will send him an army to harm him. Just a small insect goes in his stuck in his brain, stays in his brain, and it's become making so much noise, and in order for that noise to stop, they had to hit him with sandals that are out of wooden sandals. So they hit his brain so that insect stopped zooming in his mind until he was dead. A so-called God. So Allah Azza wa Jal sent in the battle of Ahzab, He sent rih, and this rih was enough to throw the camps and the tents of the kuffar until they themselves were so scared. And then there is so many positive things that happened within the companions. The famous one was Salman al-Farisi radiallahu anhu. When Salman came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he was a Persian, after he became a believer, he said, Ya Rasulullah, why don't we dig a trench, make a trench around Medina, so it will protect us. And it was a new thing for the Arabs. They didn't know about those kind of army tactics of the different civilization, Persian civilization. And they did. They made that big trench, and that was one of the reasons of the victories. Of course, there is Na'im ibn Mas'ud was another, but I don't have time to go through all of them. But what's the reason I'm narrating those so wonderful stories is that we learn that we as Muslim have to have a goal, have to have a reason, have to have an aim in life. If we are now 30 years, that's half of our life is gone. Nobody can guarantee, of course. Maybe we'll die tomorrow. We will die now. Maybe I will not even go down those stairs. Nobody knows. So if somebody have already spent 30 years without an aim, make sure, please, brother and sister, make sure you don't waste the other half. Because you are Khalifa of Allah on this earth. اللهم إنا نسألك رحمة كبيرة اللهم اغفر لنا